Senator Elizabeth Warren worries that Nancy Pelosi may have collapsed the stimulus package. Are Joe Manchin and Pramila Jayapal more powerful than President Biden and Speaker Pelosi? I'll update you on new polls from the American people that show that the country and the economy are not happy with President Biden, and I'll update you on some powerful investment news. All of this and more in today's news update. Hello and welcome to today's November 9th daily news report, as well as ongoing stimulus package information video. If you're a subscribed member of my community, then welcome back. You watch this channel because I bring you the truth on what's going on in Washington, D.C., the U.S. economy, the next stimulus package, money, investing, and much, much more. All right, now, if you watched my video from last night, then you already know, thanks to a new sponsor that wishes to remain anonymous and wanted to help our community, that I'm able to give away even more money. So don't forget to take 20 seconds to follow the link to the giveaway. This is your daily reminder to sign up to be one of the 20 people that wins $250 in cash and the 10 people that win $500 in cash for a total of 30 winners. Now, there's no strings attached on how you spend this money, and I'm just so grateful to these video sponsors for helping me to be able to help a few of you with some extra spending cash this winter. I'll make sure to leave a link below. Also, I wanted to let you know that I got in a new shipment of You Are Amazing shirts. If you wanted to pick one up for the holidays or maybe to treat yourself, I'll make sure to leave a link below for that as well. All right, now the battle of the Joes continues in Washington, D.C. With President Biden's recent lies and sinking polls. Some Democrat strategists are now saying that Senator Joe Manchin is the most powerful Democrat in Washington, D.C., more powerful than President Biden. Others are saying it is Representative Pramila Jayapal that for months and months promoted social safety net programs and checks to the American people, and now has backtracked to only talk about green energy programs. They say she is the most powerful person. So how did these two become more powerful than the President of the United States or the Speaker of the House, who is third in command to the entire country? Well, they did it by talking to the media and making lots of promises or repealing things that got lots of attention. So Senator Manchin has publicly denounced Representative Jayapal and Speaker Pelosi for withholding what's in the stimulus package from Congress and the American people. Basically, he doesn't like that they still to this date have not released the written bill. He had this to say: "In my view, this is not how the United States Congress should operate, or in my view has operated in the past. The political games have to stop." Manchin said it is irresponsible not to do more in this bill for the American people, but said the focus should be on strengthening existing programs like the ones that help our seniors through the Social Security Administration before we add new programs we can't pay for without taking on new debt. So basically, those that are on SSI, SSDI, benefits, Social Security, he says we need to strengthen those programs before we start taking on new programs that we have to get into debt in order to pay for. He had this to say: "I will not support a reconciliation bill that expands social programs and irresponsibly adds to our $29 trillion in national debt that no one seems to really care about or even talk about." However, Senator Elizabeth Warren said Pelosi just made a huge mistake by breaking up these two Biden spending bills. She said Pelosi gave all the power to Manchin and took away the ability to pass the Build Back Better stimulus bill in its original form. She said this: "I want to see the details on how they're planning to make sure that the climate issue and the child care issue don't get left behind. We can't have the train leave the station and critical parts are left on the platform." So although she seems very worried about this stimulus package, she seems most concerned about climate issues and childcare, according to her own words. Now, some Democrats are suggesting Congress pass what they can now, and then after the debt ceiling situation is handled, come back with a new stimulus package that focuses on the American people. They say Democrats have bitten off more than they can chew with two huge bills and too many moving parts and a debt ceiling situation that has real consequences if not dealt with. The debt ceiling situation must be resolved in the first week of December, so in about 30 days, or the United States defaults, which would cause a stock market collapse, a housing collapse, no checks for the military, and anyone who receives fixed income checks from the Social Security Administration would all be in jeopardy if Democrats don't handle the debt ceiling situation. Now, the debt ceiling situation is massive. So they might need to stop what they're doing, focus on this, and then like some of the Democrats were saying, come back to these social safety net programs later on. So get what you can, get the debt ceiling situation, and then come back to the social safety net programs that you want in the future. Now, as of right now, as of the filming of this video, and this could change by the time I hit go, the Congressional Budget Office has not released its findings on whether the Democrats' Build Back Better stimulus bill is paid for or not. But we're expecting that to come out any day now. The Biden administration is facing some serious headwinds, some that are outside of their control, but many that they have created for themselves. Jason Furman, the former economist for President Obama, said Biden's plan does more for the rich than for childcare, climate change, and preschool for kids. This is a major error on Biden's part. Analysts are saying if Democrats don't repeal the SALT tax deduction, they will lose seats in the House or in the Senate. But if they do repeal them, then they will give the wealthy $500 billion in tax savings. Analysts crunch the numbers, and that is 2.5 times the amount of money that they are giving for the child tax credit monthly stimulus checks for kids. So that big program that has been helping a lot of parents with raising kids, they're going to give 2.5 times more to the rich if they go through with the SALT tax deductions. Now, the newspaper and media company USA Today did a survey of Americans all across the country asking, what is the number one thing President Biden could do to improve the country? And I was shocked by the results. 5% said focus on infrastructure. 5.6% said focus on COVID. 7.5% said focus on the immigration issues. 10.6% said focus on the economy and creating new jobs. And 20% said resign, retire, or quit. So the top answer from American citizens to President Biden was to resign or to quit in order to improve the country. I don't know. Does this catch you off guard? That caught me a little bit off guard. I know his poll numbers are way, way down, but I was kind of shocked by the number one answer, right? It was like watching Family Feud. And the number one answer is quit or resign. CNN, who loves President Biden, also did a survey, and their survey revealed that close to 72% of the country believes President Biden isn't focused on the problems that need the most attention. So almost 3/4 of the country think that his focus is in the wrong place. Now, there was a little subset of data that I thought was kind of interesting. Republicans said their top concern was the economy and inflation, while Democrat respondents said their top concern was COVID. So the country is definitely seeing through different lenses of reality, depending on your political beliefs or maybe what state you live in. Kind of interesting. By the way, thank you guys so much for giving these videos a like. I really appreciate it, and I just love bringing you guys the news. All right, now the stock market is having a mixed day with a few stocks doing okay and many other stocks heading downward. There have been several key players in the Federal Reserve that have suddenly retired out of nowhere. Also, there are talks of replacing Fed Chair Jerome Powell, saying he didn't do a very good job and needs to be replaced. This uncertainty has led many stocks to downward progress, right? However, an old favorite of mine just took a 5% dip, and I couldn't be happier. Why? Because I like to buy my stocks when they're cheap, when they're more affordable, right? The stock is Energy Transfer, and I know many of you in my community also own Energy Transfer. Okay, so Olive Oil took a dip last week because of President Biden being at the climate summit in Europe. But like Plains All American pipeline I told you about last week, Energy Transfer just went through their ex-dividend date, which was on November 4th. Now you can plainly see that investors held onto this stock until they got their dividend credited, and then jumped off to a different dividend stock. Now, I'm not a stockbroker, so this is just me telling you what I'm doing with my own money, but I jumped on this stock and just bought over 3,000 new shares. I believe it will bounce back, and if it does, you'll see a nice 5% bump on your money. I also believe because of Biden's actions, the price of oil is going to continue to rise, which means this stock will rise, and it continues to pay over 6% in annualized dividends, so it's a great option to consider. Now, as many of you know, many of my investments deal with buying undervalued stocks, up-and-coming stocks, and dividend-paying stocks. So just a thought on another stock that you might want to look into. Now, if you watched my video from yesterday, I talked about Nevada King Gold. And as of filming this video, so I mentioned it yesterday and I wrote about it. It's been on my article blog for about 10 days now. I noticed today that it's up 19.91% in the last 10 days. So just doing very, very well. Also, the two uranium groups I told you about are up over 100% in the last 3 months, with Uranium Energy Corp being up 139% in the last 3 months. Now, these are just doing phenomenal, right? Now, not everything I've shared with you has gone to the moon. A few of them have been flat, and AT&T and Zynga have actually dropped because key investors pulled money out in big chunks. But either way, I'm just trying to let you guys see the value in taking a little bit of money each month and buying ownership inside of companies that are doing well or have that potential to rise as they bring in more profits, bring on new investors, get more key partners. So I'm just trying to let you guys know, here are some simple ways to build wealth, okay? All right, now one last thing on the economy. The trucking industry put out a warning to President Biden to back off the forced vaccine mandate. They said they aren't interested, and he will single-handedly collapse the supply chain in 2022 if he makes truckers choose between a jab or a job. So the trucking industry is not responding positively to the vaccine mandate. Also, Boeing has over 11,000 employees that have filed for exemptions and say they are willing to walk off the job. So Boeing and many airlines are now finding themselves in a tight spot between following what the White House believes is right and keeping key employees or top talent. So again, we're living in very interesting times, and these companies are going to have to decide how they want to move forward. All right, now this is my update for today. As I know more, I will definitely come on and share more. There could be some big changes in Biden's Build Back Better stimulus bill. Some for good, some for bad, but a lot of information is coming out, almost too much for me to read and break down in as short a video as I can. But appreciate you stopping by and staying in the loop on what's going on in Washington, D.C. and the economy. I know that many of you appreciate the way that I bring the news, and so I'll just continue to do that for you. All right, now before you go, make sure to get your name in for that giveaway. 20 people are going to win $250, and 10 people are going to win $500 in cash. to do whatever they want with that money. Spend it, save it, invest it, get caught up on bills, put food on the table, whatever you want. If you win, it's your money. And I just can't wait to give this money away thanks to these amazing sponsors. Now, before you go, I just want to remind you that you are amazing. I appreciate you being in my community, and I'll see you on the next video.